What did Rob used to say? If God was writing this comic book, it will be this. And I feel like when it comes to Absolute Wonder Woman, that is a true statement. My name is Dorian. This is SCM Comics. We're continuing our covers of Absolute Wonder Woman. Number 4. Our story starts off in a shop of some sorts. And you have two ladies in there. They're watching Wonder Woman on the TV. And they're writing notes to each other because they can't hear. Because Wonder Woman made the whole city deaf to protect it from the Tetracide. Well, the one girl with the mohawk is telling the other girl to stay here and keep watching the news. She's going to go out and try to help people. Well, as soon as she goes to leave and gets to the door, Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor are standing there. And Steve's like, "Hey, Etta, can we come in?" So she backs up and she's like, "Steve, you're here with Wonder Woman." Wonder Woman says hello. But the other girl's like, "Hold on, time out. I can hear you. Does that mean I can hear her death sound from the Tetracide?" And Wonder Woman's like, calm down. It's okay. I momentarily lifted the spell over the store and put a protection spell of my own here so that we can have a conversation. So Steve does the introductions. "Hi, ladies, this is Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman, this is Etta and Gia Candy." Now, Etta Candy I've heard of. That's definitely Wonder Woman's character. Gia's probably around too, but I never read anything with her, so I'm thinking she's new, but she might not be. So then Steve explains that Wonder Woman asks him if he knew any witches. And he goes, "I do." And that's why they're there. So then Gia's like, "Wait, me?" So the Wonder Woman calms her down, like, "Fear not. I don't need you to do any fighting or cast any spells. I'm in need of some ingredients." So Wonder Woman explains to her that to fight this creature, she's going to need her arm back. Now, this prosthetic strong, I guess it was forged in the fires of Hephaestus himself. Hope I pronounced that right. I guess you guys let me know if I didn't. But my arm is much, much stronger, and I'm going to need to cast a spell to bring it back. So while Wonder Woman's talking to her, she dumps out her bag, and Gia picks up a vial and goes, "Well, I don't know if we're going to have, like, skin of Prometheus." All I was thinking to myself is, Prometheus is the Titan that gave us fire. Like, I guess you could say he's down in hell, and if the eagle is eating his liver, I guess Wonder Woman got a piece of his skin. So the woman's like, "The ingredients that I really need are very hard to get in hell, but pretty common up here." And then she starts rattling off everything that she needs, like black walnut, yucca root, witch spur, althea root, and vervain. So Gia grabs all the ingredients, and then Wonder Woman thanks her and tells her that she's quite the witch. So then Wonder Woman asks if there is a place that's not this lovely shop, because there's going to be quite a lot of blood. So now they're all trying to look through the curtain to see exactly what Wonder Woman's doing as far as the spell casting goes. And I guess all three of them had to give up some blood for this to go down. So then Wonder Woman calls on the power of Hecate and casts her spell. So now we cut to a flashback back to the Wild Isles, where Cersei's running out of her cave and she's throwing up fire. Yeah, I said fire. And she's talking to somebody important, because their word bubbles are in black. So it's probably some kind of higher being or lower being, considering they're in hell. So they admit to Cersei that she is their most beloved disciple. So then Cersei's like, "So then why send me here? Why send me to hell? And then why give me a child that is not mine for me to take care of?" So this being tells Cersei, "Because I needed you, my most beloved disciple, to come down here, because I knew that once this child comes, that you would change, and change for the better, even if it means defying me." Where Cersei goes, "I would never." And the being goes, "You will." And that's how I know that in this case, what's right for me, what's right for the world, what's right for Diana, it's also right for you. So then the being goes, "Quit looking down. You can look upon me, my beloved." As we see, it is Hecate herself. So then Cersei goes back into the cave and she looks at Diana, and then Diana wakes up and goes, "I had a bad dream." Cersei's like, "Me too." As she gets into bed with her. Now, if you look, there's all these demons around Diana. They're all sleeping too. I don't think to myself, like, Diana collects demons like my daughter collects stuffed animals. So then Diana's like, "What was your bad dream about, Mama?" And all Cersei says is, "The future." So then we cut back to Gateway City, and we see Diana covered in blood, but she has her arm back. So as she's wiping off the blood off her face, she sees the note that Etta wrote to her friend, and she commends her for bravery to go out to try to help people, even though this dangerous thing was outside. And then Diane also brings up that Steve told her that she used to be a cop. And Etta's like, yeah, I used to be a detective, but now I'm a private investigator. So the woman was like, so same job, but now you're working for yourself. And Etta's like, yeah. It's like, you really have a way with words. So when a woman thanks him again and tells him to stay in the shop, the protection spell that she put on it will wear off. Also, too, the protection spell she puts on the city will wear off, and the Tetracide will stop making a sound way before those things happen. But then one woman looks outside and sees that the Tetracide is no longer in the ocean. Nah, decide to go to the city and is wrecking shop. So Wonder Woman's flying around with her nemesis lasso, thinking to herself how she's going to get the Tetracide out the city. Pegasus is there behind her. I'm thinking to myself, like, why don't you just fly on Pegasus? But you can say the same thing about the main DC Wonder Woman. She doesn't need an invisible jet to fly, but she still has it. She flies to the ocean, she hovers in one spot, she says a spell, and she gets back her Buster Sword. And she's like, hello, friend. I have a very big idea for you. You're going to love it. First, we need to get the Tetracide back to the ocean. So she takes out this vial, she sets a spell, and she throws it. It breaks. There's a loud noise of people screaming and calling for help. It is so loud that Wonder Woman and Pegasus have to cover up their ears. Well, Wonder Woman covers up her ears. Pegasus doesn't have any ears. It works because the Tetracide comes right back. And the Wonder Woman does a spell to make this sword ridiculously big. Like, if you thought it was big before, whoo, it's like the size of a skyscraper. And she's carrying it and one arm over her shoulder like it's nothing. She flies in the air, and then you get the full scope of how big this thing is. And she goes, Pegasus now. Pegasus starts attacking the thing, distracting it. And she goes, Goddess Athena, aid your humble servant and strike true. And she cuts through this thing, and this is not an exaggeration, like a hot knife through butter. I mean, you can see all the inner workings of this thing. So then we cut to this TV screen, and we see Wonder Woman just walking off, leaving the Tetracide and this big ass sword just in the ocean. And we see this TV screen is in the White House, in the Oval Office. And the president is like, is the commander still evacuating people there? And one dude was like, yeah, he's still evacuating. So then the president's like, Kale, you're the damn National Security Advisor. Advise already. And she turns around and she's like, Mr. President, even if that thing is dead, we still have a very big problem on our hands. Now, if this is Victoria Kale, which I'm assuming it is, just think like Lex Luthor to Superman. That's what Victoria Kale is to Wonder Woman. And she knows, like Lex Luthor always knew about Superman, if this woman wants to take over America, there ain't a damn thing they can do about it.